Do you own a BMW and are bored of the bland sound system that they fit in these cars as standard? But the customer's taken it upon himself to get him sorted out with an upgrade. Keep watching. Here we have a BMW M2 Competition, Hockenheim silver, which is one of my favorite colors, and also in a manual gearbox, which is something that I would love too. Customer has had this car for a number of years, since brand new, and he's now bored of the sound system inside it. It was okay when he first got the car, and obviously the drive of the car took away from needing a serious sound system, but he's reached a point now, he wants to upgrade, he wants to get in this car and enjoy his music. Very briefly, what are we going to be doing on this vehicle? We're going to upgrade the front speakers with Audison Prima components. They're going to fit into the factory locations. We're also going to add tweeters using OEM BMW tweeter mounts. We've got the speakers in the doors. We've got 2 speakers going underneath each seat as well. They're the Audison 2-ohm flat 8-inch subwoofers, so they're going to go from 6 to 8, which is going to be an increase in bass. Also, with the amplifier to run the system, that's going to give him much better power, much better quality and clarity, no matter what volume he's listening to. This box in the top here, that's a plug and play harness. All of our BMW upgrades we do here, we're not chopping and cutting up factory looms. We got harnesses which will plug directly into the factory looms, so that warranty wise it always keeps the main dealers happy. Follow me on this little journey. My technician Lee is going to install this sound system, and I'll come back and I'll just show you what goes in behind the scenes with the soundproofing in the doors, etc. See you soon. We're down at the door card. Lee's just stripped off the panel, ready to install some soundproofing. As standard, there's very minimal soundproof in these cars. Just got this little sheet here. We're gonna give this full coverage with skins 3mm. I'll give you a little bit of a show in a minute what that starts looking like. Here is the mid-range, the factory mid-range, which runs the whole front mids and tweeters. Customer's gonna have some tweeters here shortly and an upgraded mid-range speaker. I'll come back and show you a bit more once we get a bit further. Lee has been soundproofing this passenger door. Let me just show you a little bit what the work looks like. So he's covered the entire panel with skins 2mm behind here. If you can see that, hopefully the camera's picking it up. There's also a wave diffuser right behind the speaker, which helps stop standing sound waves. This sound deadening material is going to help reduce resonance and vibrations, and thus give the speaker a better environment to play in. Next up is to put some dodo liner and soundproofing onto the door card, so I'll probably come back and show you a bit on that. Lee's currently next onto the driver's door. There he is over there, just removing, and I'll show you what he's doing on that door, same as this one. This M2 has never been apart before. These version doors are proving to be a little bit more stiff than the average. And off she comes. Really important part of the job, which might not seem absolutely necessary when you're soundproofing, but you need to clean the door, because all that lovely soundproofing will fall off with time, summers, winters, if you don't clean the door properly. We always use fast drying degreaser, go around the door. This will just remove any of the contaminations, helps get rid of some of the gunky spray wax that they spray on to protect these doors from rusting. So there are new skins material, which I'm going to come back shortly when he's applying it and cutting it up, so it all stays on and it doesn't go anywhere. Looks like he's just about to start. Quick, he's doing some work. He's always working. Here's the material, chopping it up, gets it roughly cut up to go around the cross members in the door, and he gives it a bit of a rub on, applying it with his hands. And the next step, he's going to get his Bojo wedge tools and rub it on so it's super applied on. Here we go, a bit of action shots going on here. He's got his metal roller, and that will ensure all that soundproofing is stuck on beautifully. Another sheet going into the door. To be continued. Lee has basically completed the driver's door. He is soundproofed and he is just finishing off the inner skin. He's got a few bits to do around the speaker. There's another material which I'm just going to show you, which goes into the door apart from that 2mm butyl. Is the Skins 2, we call this, which is a wave diffuser. This dense foam will help prevent standing sound waves behind the speaker and allow the sound to be directed straight into the cabin for your listening pleasure. Next up is the door card. I'll probably be back showing you a little bit on what goes into the door card. Next up on the job list is to fit the underseat speakers, taking out the factory 6-inch mid-bass woofers, we call them, and upgrade them to the Audison 8-inch S82 2-ohm woofers. Lee's just unbolting the seat. Lee's gonna get this speaker out from underneath there, upgrade that, a bit of sound deadening and work we do underneath there to help improve the performance of these speakers that go underneath the seat. I'll come back and show you a little bit more soon. Back at the car, Lee is halfway through doing the driver's side underseat, so I'm going to quickly show you what that speaker looks like now it's out of the housing, and I'll catch it going into the car as well. So this is the factory 6-inch speaker which lives underneath the seat in the housing you'll see in a second. Very poor quality paper and plastic. That's what you get in any base spec BMW audio upgrade. And the new speaker is this Audison here. Here is the Audison S82 2-ohm driver. That 2-ohm impedance is going to squeeze a bit more power out of the amplifier. These are a lot better performing speakers, better power handling. These are our go-to for BMW audio upgrades. They're custom fit to go in the F series, G series, E series. Just go have a little look at the car. Lee here has just got the housing in his hands, where he is now got that new speaker all mounted in there, and it looks a little bit like that. That's now going to slide into down there. You can see a little bit of soundproofing that we've done there, just to help with the environment that the mid-bass driver plays in. And he's going to get the seats all bolted back in, and he's going to move on to the passenger side. Back down at the M2, Lee has been busy finishing off the speakers in the doors. The inner skins are all back together. New Audison speakers are in. Tweeter mounts, which will be OEM tweeter mounts from BMW, are arriving, and he will be putting the tweeters in shortly. Seats are back and bolted in, and we're currently running our wiring. There's no cutting, drilling when we're installing these systems into BMWs. We use a plug and play harness for taking the audio inputs from underneath the seats. Plugs directly onto factory plugs. We've got wires that will go back to our amplifiers going to be installed in the boot of the car. Lee started stripping down the boot. Here is the new amplifier. This is the Audison SR 4.500, a 4-channel amplifier which is going to use 2 channels to run the mids and tweeters in the door, and 2 channels to run those new woofers underneath the seats. I'm not actually sure where he's putting the amplifier. He's probably building a board to mount it all the way down there, or maybe there if it will fit. But that'll be all mounted onto a board securely and fixed properly. That's it for now. I'll come back and show you a bit more once the amplifier is going in. Lee has just made up a board to mount his amplifier on. Here's the board with a few mounting holes where he's going to fix that into the car, and he's also trimming up it in carpet. Don't like to leave boards looking all like plain wood. We always trim them and paint them just to give it a more OEM feel. You'll see a bit more of that board soon. Down at the door cards, Lee has been busy soundproofing both the door cards. I've been busy in the shop, but I've come down just in time to catch them before they all go back together, and I can show you both layers of the soundproofing. So I'm going to spin the camera around. Here we have the Skins 2mm applied to the door card. We give a good coverage to the door card to help deaden the panels, help them create a barrier between the outside road noise, and just helps reduce resonance and vibration. This is completed. He has here his Dodo acoustic liner, which is the next layer to go on top of this, all cut out and ready. As you can see, we cut out around all important clips that will need to be attaching to the door, because we want this material here to squash against everything on the door, all the cables and bits and bobs, so that again will reduce all the resonance and rattles and just help these doors sound as good as they can be. That is going to be stuck on in a few moments. Here I've just wedged in the boot of the car. We got the panel which has already been done. Door cards got a lot more weight to them now, just a lot more solid. That is how you soundproof a BMW door card in our packages. The amplifier is also installed. So if I just show you into the boot of the car, you can't see anything. Now if we lift this floor up, you got the amplifier, the battery, and the amplifier is just here. That is our new Audison SR 1500 amplifier, mounted on this board which has been trimmed in grey carpet. That squeezes into this location there. Audison amplification fits perfectly in there, not using up any other space in the car. That's important. And the tool kit and bits and bobs still fit down there. That's where the amplifier, which is going to run this front speaker setup, that's where that lives. We're now at the end of the installation of this BMW M2. I've had a bit of a listen. Massive difference. It's completely night and day to what the customer started with. Of course, there's always levels we can go up on this system, but this is going to be a massive difference for the customer now. He's really going to enjoy this system. Let me just take you around it and give you a brief show on what it looks like at the end. There's heaps more of output, quality and clarity now in this system. Just to sum it up in a few words, in the boot, the amplifier is hidden behind the scenes, just down here, mounted on a board which is fixed to the vehicle. Trim things in carpet just to make it look nice, but that amplifier is running those front mids and tweeters in the doors and the speakers underneath the seat. This is just our little power cable, the fuse which runs the amplifier. That's all you see in the boot. In fact, you don't see anything, doesn't take up any boot space that is usable as such. I'm going to take you around to the front of the vehicle. Obviously, you've seen the soundproofing work that's gone into the doors. We've added the tweeters now into this car. Done something a little bit different. We've taken the factory Harman Kardon mountings, deleted the grille. Customer didn't fancy seeing the words Harman Kardon, and we've 3D printed and made a little Audison grille and logo go in there basically. So it's just a little touch we've done for this customer. I haven't actually shown him yet. We can get him plain black ones, but thought this might be a nice touch. The speakers are all hidden behind the scenes, so you've got the tweeters, the mids behind there with the soundproofing, and of course the underseat speakers underneath there. And from the underseats we have the factory style wiring that we install, so there's no chopping of the cables and plugs. We work on a lot of BMWs that are in warranty. We provide warranty with our systems as well, 5 years on this particular system. Another little thing that we've done on this car is we have installed some security. Customer didn't like the idea of spending a bit of money on this audio system and then not doing anything about protecting the car from going missing. Granted, he's had it for a few years now, this car, but didn't like the idea of all the audio running away from him. So we've added an Autowatch Ghost to this vehicle as well, just to add an extra layer of security. That's a wrap on this BMW M2 Competition. We cover audio upgrades from upgrades like this one, which cost about a couple grand roughly, up to upgrades where we do custom and bespoke installation, where the sky is the limit. If you've got a BMW, it doesn't matter if it's not an M2, we cover all types of BMWs and all types of vehicles for that matter. Do get in contact with us and we can create an upgrade for you to allow you to enjoy your car's music again. Thanks for watching this video. Take care and we'll see you in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe.